Hey everybody, this is Frank Hannon. I'm the lead guitarist of Tesla, and you are listening Sonic Perspective.
I can't believe all this bullshit today. Too many lives being taken away. Sick and unhappy.
Hey Frank, welcome, and thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. I truly appreciate it.
Hey, I'm glad to be alive and well and able to speak to you today, man. It's been a hellacious week. I was worried I might have caught COVID again, but I took a test. I'm clear, and I'm starting to feel normal again and alive. I've been playing my guitar a lot the past couple of days. You know, music is good medicine, I'll tell you what.
Oh yeah. So Frank, I'm Rob Cavuto, and we're on Sonic Perspectives, and today we're here to talk to you about your upcoming summer tour. That's going to be starting June 11th and take you all the way to September 22nd.
Man, I know. I was looking at the calendar last night. I woke up at 3 a.m. I couldn't sleep. I was thinking about all the dates. And so I started looking at the calendar, and I was looking at it, trying to figure out where I'm flying to and from and what cities here and there. I know we're going to Alaska on this tour.
Right.
And, I want to bring my little dog with me, man. I just rescued a little mutt that he's half Chihuahua, half Eskimo breed. We did a DNA test on him, and he's so cool, man. He's like my best buddy now. His name's Patrick. So I was looking at the calendar last night to see where and when I could fly with him, and I realized, holy shiza. Can I say shiza on this show?
Yeah, you could curse.
Holy shit. We are doing a lot of shows this year.
Yes, you are. You know, you said you're getting over the flu. I know the band had several setbacks with COVID. So have you been feeling good up until that point where you got the flu again? Or?
Well, yeah, this whole COVID ordeal has been going on for 3 years now, almost over two. We were shut down. And during that time, I personally stayed really busy and was really lucky. Didn't get COVID, traveled. I went and did a show in Dallas for the International Guitar Festival. Right. I produced a bunch of young artists in my studio during the lockdown, made a couple albums with them. But then as soon as it started opening up, guess what? Whammo, Tesla got COVID, and we had to cancel a bunch of dates last August. But, we went through that ordeal, and we did a few dates with Lynyrd Skynyrd shortly after that, which was a very fun, successful run we did with Lynyrd Skynyrd. I don't know if this thing is COVID or what it is, but there's something going around right now. Everyone I know is getting something.
Yep, I don't disagree. A lot of people at work are sick, and a couple of buddies of mine got sick too. So yeah, I hope you get well fast.
Hey, thank you. One thing I discovered is Instacart. There's an Instacart delivery person bringing me some groceries. That's one of the benefits about COVID is I discovered you can have your groceries delivered. They're out there right now. See them?
That's awesome.
They're out there delivering the Instacart.
That's awesome. That is so you guys just came off a spring tour, right? That was like March into almost.
We did a short run. We went to Hampton Beach. We play at the Hampton Beach Casino Ballroom, and we sold out 2 nights there. So we put a little run around for that tour last month.
Yeah. Now, what was going to
happen? By the way, we're touring on our latest single. It's called Cold Blue Steel. It's a song that was inspired by Saturday Night Special and about gun violence and evil intentions, and people really dig the song because it's raw and edgy. It sounds like old school Tesla. And, the subject matter is actually, let's get real. And, what's the real problem? Is it the guns or is it the people? I personally think it's a combination of both. I don't think there's one black and white answer, but because there's obviously an overflow of gun production. I mean, there's millions of guns floating around that are too easy to get a hold of for the bad guys. But I'm a gun advocate myself. I believe in the Second Amendment and protection of yourself, but self-defense. But anyway, the song is called Cold Blue Steel, and that's the tour. Let's Get Real tour right now is what we've been working.
Yeah, I love the song, and I was going to ask you about, are you planning to put together a new CD? And if so, will Phil be producing it like he did in the last one? Because I know you guys are both on tour most of the summer.
No, Cold Blue Steel, we produced it ourselves.
Okay.
The Shock album that Phil did, they worked really hard on that. When I say they, I'm talking about Phil Collen and Brian Wheat, our bass player. They really worked hard on the album. It was a collaboration. Phil wrote most of the songs, and some people thought it was a great album, and other people didn't like it. But it was we gave it a shot. But from now on, Brian and I had a discussion. Brian and I are the founding members of the band Tesla, and along with Jeff Keith. And we decided, you know what, from now on, we're going to write and produce our own music. We've worked with enough producers, Phil Collen, Terry Thomas, Steve Thompson, Michael Barbiero, me personally, Roy Thomas Baker, Max Norman. We've had producers coming and going our whole career. So now, from now on, at our age, we're going to produce our own music from now on. And we're actually producing a brand new single that's going to come out next month. And it's freaking rocking. I'm really excited about it. And the best thing about producing ourselves is it's imperfect and it's edgy and it's got the warts and everything, man. It's as real as it can be because it's us. And, we're not like technicians where we know how to make things perfect. So Cold Blue Steel, we produced it ourselves. And this new song is called Time to Rock. I've been producing it and working on it for about 2 months. And it'll ultimately get put on a self-produced album.
Okay. Are you going to do singles, like a single every couple of months, or are you going to?
Yeah, we're going to put out singles after singles and just focus on one song at a time, man, and rock that song. What happens is, when you're young, man, you can write 10 songs and freaking put out an album every year. But as you get older, like we are now, man, it's not as easy to do that. And then so you end up sacrificing quality for quantity. Okay. And we don't want to do that. Why put out 10 songs that are just in a rush when we can spend our time and just create singles that we're real proud of? And this next one, man, I'm telling you, Jeff Keith and I are really excited about it because he and I wrote it on the road last year, and I got the band to put it together. And I've been chipping away on it in the studio, producing it, and I'm getting ready to produce a video for it this weekend. Cool. It's called Time to Rock, and it does
rock. I like that idea, that strategy where you got all these touch points. Nobody ever forgets you because you're always out there with a new song and people remember, and then you're out there with the new song versus an album. You put it out and it's forgotten. So I think it's a great strategy. Kudos.
Well, especially in today's world, man. Yep. The whole concept of albums was conceived in the 70s when music was the best. To me, the 70s era of music is the greatest era of what they call album rock. And, bands like Aerosmith and even Aerosmith was only putting 8 songs on an album, but still Van Halen, Foreigner, Aerosmith, Kansas, all the great bands of that era were making albums because FM radio stations, and there was no videos or none of that, no cell phones especially, that was the era of when albums were invented. Before that, in the 60s and the 50s, artists like the Beatles and the Stones, they were only making singles. I Can't Get No Satisfaction and Help and all those Beatles songs, and Rolling Stones, those were just singles at the time in the 60s. It wasn't until the 70s that full-length albums became a thing.
No, that's great. Even Kiss was releasing at some points 2 albums a year. But like you said, there were only 8 or 9 songs on an album at the time. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, only 8 or 9 songs, and only 2 of them would be great. And that's that's the thing. Tesla always took pride in making a full album. Mechanical Resonance had 12 songs on them, and I feel every song we put 100% into. But that was almost 40 years ago, dude.
Yep.
Nowadays, we're lucky that if we can get together enough time and we work slower, but it's better. It's quality versus quantity.
Excellent. That is cool. Going back to the tour, you guys touring for 40 years. What's the secret to surviving a tour? Even pre-COVID, 5 guys on a tour bus for 3 months. How do you do it?
Well, you learn a lot about each other's personalities, and you have a bunk, okay? And each guy in the bus has a bunk, and that is their personal space. And if you need your own space, you don't want to see anybody, guess what? You got to get in the bunk and close that curtain and just veg and try to allow everybody to have space. It's a very tough lifestyle, I'll be honest. I mean, I'm a cowboy at heart, man. I have land, and I'm a rancher and a farmer, and I like space, man. To consolidate that down into one bunk in a bus is a tough adjustment. But we all respect each other's space, and have learned to appreciate what we have. I mean, the shows make it all worthwhile. I mean, when you get off the bus and you walk into the gig and you get on stage and you play for a sold out audience that's just loving your music, it takes all that other pain away.
That's awesome. I've seen you so many times, but I was just wondering, is Tesla a band like Cheap Trick that could change the set list up night after night?
We are, and we just did two nights in Hampton Beach, and we play a full 90 minutes, which is about 16 songs. And what we do is we have to play. There's 10 songs that we have to play both nights.
Yep.
Every night. Love song, What You Give, Modern Day Cowboy, Signs, the ones that are the ones that the people are paying to hear. Then there's the 6 songs that we can rotate and we change, and we put in Hang Tough, Song of Emotion, Lazy Days, Crazy Nights, Coming at You Live. We'll switch it around. Some songs, I'll be honest, we just can't do anymore, because back in the 80s, Jeff Keith was screaming his lungs out, man. And
yeah,
when you're 60 years old, that screaming just don't come naturally anymore. But we've rewritten some of our songs, and they actually sound better in a lower key, and it's we're experimenting with that stuff now. We're doing Hang Tough, man, and Hang Tough is at the top of his range, but we've learned a new way of playing it, and we're really excited about bringing that song back into our set list.
I saw you in September 2019 in Morristown, New Jersey. And you guys were fantastic. And what a tremendous show. And, the one thing, I've seen you countless times over the years, but the one thing that really stuck out to me was you have this magical bond with your guitar on stage. Tell me about that magic with you and the guitar. No matter which guitar you were using, it was pure magic.
Well, gosh, thanks, man. Sometimes I forget how much the guitar means to me. I take it for granted sometimes. That I'm looking at this guitar right here, and I could easily pick it up and just start playing it like it's fairly easy, and sometimes I forget how lucky I am for that. And honestly, it just came to me at a very young age. I tried to play sports and try to play Little League Baseball, and I tried to ride dirt bikes and motocross and do all the stuff that the other kids were doing, fighting and stealing. And in my neighborhood, it was a bad neighborhood I grew up in, and nothing felt good to me until I heard Frampton Comes Alive in my headphones, and I heard that guitar, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to do that. I was 10 years old. It was 1976. So I discovered a guitar that my stepdad had, and I picked it up, and it just came natural. I could hear something, and immediately by ear, naturally play it effortlessly. And so I don't know. I was lucky to find my niche, and guitar is definitely an extension of my heart and me. It's like my extra arm. Yeah.
That is definitely a magical connection. When I did the times I've seen you, you come out with you have so many guitars. You almost come out with a different guitar for every song. How many guitars do you take out on the road? And is there a purpose for every single guitar you bring out?
Yeah, there's definitely a purpose, in a sense of Tesla always experiments with different tones and different textures, especially myself. I love so many different kinds of music. That's why I got a tie-dye shirt on here, because I'm a hippie at heart. That's Randy Hansen right there. Randy Hansen is one of my favorite guitar players. He's a Jimi Hendrix tribute artist. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
No, I haven't. I'll check him out though.
But anyways, I love Hendrix. I love the blues. I love jazz. I love country. I love bluegrass, finger picking, Django Reinhardt. I love all kinds of different music. And if you listen to Tesla, you can hear some twangy Telecaster guitar on What You Give. You can hear some flamenco acoustic guitar intro on Little Susie, stuff that I experiment with. So when you're experimenting with different styles, then you experiment with different guitars. And with Tesla, I use an SG that has a Floyd Rose on it that Gibson gave me. I use another SG with a Maestro tremolo that I use for different tunings, like for playing slide. I use different acoustics. My Love Dub acoustic has a maple top. It's real bright, so it's great for finger picking. So every guitar has a purpose.
Wow. So that's almost like a blessing and a curse, because now you got to take them all out on the road with you, right?
Yeah. Well, I have a big road case that lives in a truck, and my favorite guitars that I use for Tesla will stay in that year round, and it lives in Nebraska. And the guy that we have drives the truck from Nebraska, and he'll meet us wherever we're playing, so it works out that way. And I have a really cool guitar tech now. I've had a bunch of really cool guitar techs my whole career. I've been very lucky. Jimmy Johnson was Alex Lifeson's guitar tech from Rush.
Oh, wow.
And he also worked for Styx. And, Tommy Shaw likes to change guitars a lot and experiment. And Alex Lifeson obviously did too in Rush. So you got to have a good tech to help you. But those guitars live in a vault out in the truck. And then when I'm home and I do my solo band, I've got kind of like a duplicate set of that. I've got several SGs, several Les Pauls, a couple Telecasters, a double neck, and a couple acoustics, and various things like that here when I do my solo shows.
I love the white SG double neck that you had you used it in New Jersey anyway.
Oh, thank you. Was that at the club in Morristown, or was that with Skinner at the amphitheater?
No, it was a theater in Morristown.
Oh, the theater.
Bergen Pack.
Bergen Pack. Oh, I love that gig. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I enjoy that place a lot. I'll tell you a story about that Epiphone. That Epiphone is a very, very special guitar. It used to belong to Ron Keel.
Really?
And I had a cherry Epiphone guitar, and Ron had the white one. And I did a cancer benefit auction for Ron Keel and his breast cancer awareness for his wife, Renee, who's doing great, by the way. She's recovered, and she was really proactive in wanting to raise some money for breast cancer awareness. So we did an auction, and we sold that white guitar. But man, the thing is so nice. It sounds so great that I contacted the buyer of the auction and asked him if he'd be willing to trade me for my other one if he was going to play it. He said, absolutely. He would rather see me keep the white guitar and play it on stage. And it's a keeper. That guitar, it weighs like a feather weight for a double neck, and it resonates better than any Gibson double neck I've had. It's an Epiphone, which is a very affordable model. Epiphone makes great guitars. They're made by Gibson.
The one back there is an Epiphone. It sounds incredible.
Yeah.
It's a great guitar. Why is the nut pulled back, or pulled back so far on that guitar? Is that standard for double necks? Well, you got the bridge, and then there's the nut. It goes really back far to the back of it, almost to the end of the body.
Oh, I've seen that on some double necks. I think the reason they do that piece you're talking about, is called a tail piece.
Yeah, the tail piece is so far back.
Yeah, some of them they put really far back, and some of them they put closer to the bridge. And what that does is it changes the angle of the tension. So if it's closer to the bridge, the tension is like this. If it's farther back, the strings are more like this. And it makes a difference in the sound of of the strings being a little looser and not so tense.
Oh, wow. I got to check that out because most of the guitars I have, they're normal lengths, you know, it's not that far back. So that kind of threw me.
Yeah. I noticed the one that Jimmy Page plays, it's farther back.
Yeah. Tell me about the process of writing songs. Does the guitar and the amp have a lot to do with the writing for you? Plugging into a different guitar, a different amp?
It does, you know, and I was talking about taking things for granted. I took for granted how important the amp is in the equation. A tube amp, and every amp, whether it's a Marshall, a Fender, a Hi-Watt, whatever, has a different voice. And when you plug a different guitar like a Telecaster into a Vox, it can inspire you to play differently the chords and the way you're bending the strings and stuff like that, and make you invent something just by the resonance you're getting from the combination of the guitar and the amp. So it does make a difference. Now, every song is different. You know, songs are melodies and chords, and the best songs sometimes will just come by strumming some chords on an acoustic and humming a melody. Or, you know, sometimes you'll have an idea for a lyric or a title, and it'll start with that. For example, the new Tesla song that's called Time to Rock basically started by, we were going on stage, and I said, okay, guys, come on, it's time to rock. And I thought to myself, hey, that could be a cool song. So there you go.
That's cool. You always have an affinity towards melody-driven music, and you merge it with your guitar playing, which is incredible. And Shock, I thought, was a perfect example of that. How do you keep yourself pushing forward with really, without stagnating, and always coming up with great music?
Oh man, I don't know. You just have to be persistent and dedicated to trying, picking up the guitar and going for it, and just, you know, trying to enjoy yourself. And if you're not enjoying yourself, then put it down for a little while and take a break from it. Honestly, I'm feeling that I need to learn how to take breaks more than pushing myself to come up with new music. When I look back over the past 20 years, Tesla has recorded, you know, Forevermore, Simplicity, Reel to Reel, Shock, you know, all these albums. And then myself, I recorded From One Place to Another, Volume 1 and 2, solo album, Gypsy Highway, World Peace. You know, I mean, we've been going crazy over the past 20 years. And I don't know, it's just in your blood, man. You have a drive to do it. And sometimes you can burn out. So honestly, I'm trying to like take it slow and just write one song at a time.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Now, for my last question, it's the toughest one. New Jersey and New York was missed off of the tour in the summer. What happened? And are you going to slip one in?
We're going to be in upstate New York at Syracuse. I saw that on the calendar.
That's
I wish we were doing Jones Beach, and I wish we were coming back to Morristown. You know, honestly, booking the tours is not my job. So I don't have control of that. There's a booking agent that works together with Brian on that end of it. I'm more into the creative production part of Tesla, and the business part of it is managed by Brian and a booking agent. And, you know, maybe we wore out our welcome there, so we have to wait a little bit longer. I don't know. Maybe there's a reason.
I don't think so, man. We'd really love to have you. There's like a week or two in there. Maybe that's empty. Maybe something will get thrown in there. Who knows? Fingers crossed.
I'm sure we're gonna definitely be back, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Irving Plaza, I think. Wait a minute. We just played Irving Plaza not too long ago.
No, you played that during I saw you during Simplicity at Irving Plaza.
No, we were there last year, man, because I remember I bought an SG at Guitar Center right down the street.
I saw you Simplicity. I saw you with Def Leppard, and I saw you at Morristown. So I may have missed the last one. So yeah.
But anyway, we'll definitely come back there,
Good.
man. You know, it's just I don't know the details on why they book us where they do.
Okay, no worries. Frank, I want to thank you so much for your time today. It was a really insightful interview, and I hope you feel better, and I hope you have a successful summer on tour. So thank you so much.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. My pleasure. It was really nice talking with you again. Have a good day.
Same here. You
Bye-bye.
too.